Hello, thank you so much for joining me again. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy to have you. I hope that you stay around and join the clan. Okay, so before we dive into today's video, I just want to say if you have been enjoying these videos so far, please make sure you give them a big fat thumbs up. A thumbs up means that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out and you appreciate all the hard work, all the blood, sweat, and tears that I am putting into these videos as well. Thank you so much. Alright, so this video once again comes highly requested. As you guys know, if you watched my last video, my date was moved up 8 months. Yes, my date was moved all the way up, and I had a lot of dolls reach out to me to figure out, how did I get moved up? Did I pay extra money? Did I reach out to Sarah a million times? Like, what is the tea, sis? So I wanted to sit down and make a video for you all before I head out to Houston, just to give you guys the download. And honestly, it's no real secret to how this happened, but I'm happy to go ahead and share this information anyway. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, as a disclaimer, I do want to say that the things that I'm going to share is just what happened with my situation. As you'll learn while watching this video, everybody's situation is a case-by-case scenario. And yeah, I hope that you're able to take some of these tips, and I really do hope that they work for you. So first things first, I want to go ahead and break down the timeline of how everything happened. So let me go ahead and pull that up. After I go through the timeline, I'm then going to share with you some of the factors that played into how I was able to move up so fast, and some of the factors that might kind of hinder you from being able to move up fast. Let's pull it up. All right, boom, the timeline. So discovered Jung, discovered that he was amazing, and then I wanted to go ahead and submit for a consultation. Now, I do want to say that Dr. Jung is one of, like, his process is a process where he doesn't have, for his surgery, he doesn't give free consultations. So if you are seriously considering Dr. Jung, do an online consultation. If you're still shopping around and you're really tight on money and you don't want to spend money, then it's going to be difficult for you to be to get an online consultation, because you start investing from day numero uno. What I mean by that is you want to make sure that you're nearly 100% sure that you are going to go with Dr. Jung, that you feel comfortable with his prices, and that you know that this is the surgeon that you want to go with before you start investing money. You don't want to waste your money. You don't want to waste your time. Another thing to consider is if you are a good candidate for Dr. Jung. To the right, you'll see the list of his requirements. You can read through those, and that's also located on his Instagram. If you want to take another look, call the office with any questions that you may have, or reach out to Sarah personally with any questions. If you still want to go ahead and go through with the online consultation or an in-office consultation, you can find that information to the right. And good luck. I'm super excited for you guys. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. All right, so the first thing that I did was reach out to Premier Surgical Arts on March 20th, just inquiring about a consultation. When you do that, you get an email pretty much just breaking down like everything about Dr. Jung, his practice, the areas that he lipos, and it also gives you his starting prices, and it also tells you about, like, pretty much if there are surgery dates in 2021. It'll say that in the email. It might say something like it's scattered dates, or, you know, there's a wait list for dates, or it'll just say like we're only booking for 2022. So mine said that there were some scattered dates there. March 21st, I submitted my online consultation. So I paid $175 and I submitted my online consultation via the website, and I took some pictures, just kind of regular consultation pictures, and submitted those. I had on my panty and my bra, and then I had my husband take those pictures for me up against like a plain wall so that it was really easy to see my body. March 23rd, I heard back. Dr. Jung had sent his observations over via his coordinator, Sarah. She's awesome. Just letting me know that I had been approved for the surgery, and that he recommended that I maintain my weight, and that I am comfortable at my weight, and that, what else did it say? yeah, I think that was pretty much the basis of the email from Dr. Jung. And it also said what areas he would lipo, and then it also said I would look great. So that made me feel good. And Sarah said in the email that if I wanted to go ahead and move forward with securing my price and my date, that I had to go ahead and pay a deposit of $995. So I took about a week to just kind of weigh my options out, because at that point, like I said, I was still, you know, on the fence. I was still shopping around myself, so I didn't know if I really wanted to go with Dr. Jung. I was stuck between Dr. Jung and Dr. Shu, but once I joined the Dr. Jung Money Facebook group, they was like, no, you need to go to Dr. Jung. So I just got kind of pulled in, peer pressured in, or whatever. It was the best decision. So I paid my deposit on April 1st. And then on April 2nd, I got my date via email by the coordinator. And the date that I had was February 24th, 2022. So I got that date in April. And I didn't email Sarah a bunch of times. I just told her that I wanted to get an earlier date. She told me that she would go ahead and add me to the wait list, and that if I wanted to be considered for a last minute cancellation, the best thing to do was for me to go ahead and get my blood work done. So I went and got my blood work done on April the 5th. April the 8th, Sarah reached back out saying that Dr. Jung had reviewed my medical file and that I had been medically cleared for the surgery. My first time hearing from Sarah about a last minute cancellation, I believe, was on, let me pull up the calendar. It was on Monday, the 17th of May. And the surgery date was the 24th of May. So it was literally 7 days from the day that I had been notified. At that point, it was way too soon, because I didn't have anything together. I wasn't ready. I still needed to do my Amazon shopping, and I just wasn't ready, like, at all. And so I told her I had to pass up that date. And then I heard from Sarah again on June the 1st saying that she had another spot which was opening on June the 7th. Did I want to take it? And I was like, yeah, like, yes, I do. Sign me up right now. So I ended up getting that surgery date, and here we are. I'm in the process of getting ready to have my surgery. So I did want to make it clear, if it wasn't already, that I did not have to pay anything extra in order to get my surgery date moved up. I don't believe that that's how they work, and there is a system put in place in order to help dolls get last minute cancellations, and that's the information I'm providing. All right, so that's pretty much the timeline of how everything worked for me. Now I want to go ahead and pivot to, like, some things to take into consideration when it came to me being moved up so quickly. So the first thing is going back to what Dr. Jung said in his consultation email that Sarah sent me. Dr. Jung only asked me to maintain my weight. If he had told me to lose 10 pounds, I wouldn't have been able to be considered for a last minute spot right away. Why? Because if Sarah would have reached out to me and I hadn't lost weight by then, it would have been like a waste of time. So because I wasn't asked to lose weight or to gain weight, that put me on a fast track, because all I had to do was pretty much like make sure that my schedule was flexible and make sure that I had the money and that I could make the accommodations last minute. And so I was able to do all three. People gain and lose weight differently. It might take one person 30 days to lose 10 pounds, where it might take another person 90 days to lose 10 pounds, or 90 days to gain, or 10 days to gain. You just never know. So if you know that you want to get moved up quick and you want to be able to have a last minute cancellation spot, make sure you start tackling those goals that they set for you ASAP. And also, I want to add to that, another thing that might keep you from being considered for a last minute cancellation spot, if your hemo is low. If you have low hemo, which is like your blood is low iron, then that means that you need to take at least a month to be able to get those hemo levels up. So make sure, what I did was I took some iron supplements before I even had the consultation so that I can make sure that my iron was good for the blood work, because I didn't want nothing standing in the way of me having my surgery early. So I made sure my blood work was good. I was eating healthy, drinking water, and making sure that my blood work came back flawless. And so something else to keep in mind. Now, what else did I want to talk about? All right, so now I want to pivot into talking about like what a last minute cancellation actually looks like. As I said before, Sarah reached out to me on the 1st for a surgery that was happening on the 7th. So you have to make sure that your schedule really allows for you to be able to take on something so last minute. Some of you have, children. Some of you are married like me. Some of you have jobs that you just can't walk away from. So making sure that you're like the perfect candidate for a last minute cancellation, like that's really important. I know that you really want to get this surgery ASAP, but you want to do it in a way that you have peace, and you want to do it in a way that makes the most sense for your situation. Like, even though it was super last minute, I learned from the first time that Sarah reached out to me that there are things that I could do beforehand to make sure that I am ready, so that when they do call me, I know that I'll be able to get up and go. So for example, from the last time, I said, okay, my husband is not going to be able to be with me the whole time that I'm in Houston, so I'm going to go ahead and put together some type of meal plan so that I know that while I'm away, he'll be able to have food. So I plan on meal prepping for him tomorrow to make sure I have all of my frogs in a row, and for that, so that'll give me peace knowing that he at least has food to eat. And another thing that I did my hair. I made sure that my hair was already in like a very easy style, something very like I don't have to manage it much. I went ahead and went to the beauty supply, did my hair, made sure that I was ready to go with that. Another thing that I did is I got everything that I needed for my recovery like ASAP. Like, and as soon as I started buying stuff, that's when it started to feel real, like, oh my gosh, you're really doing this. So I bought all of the supplies that I needed just in case Sarah called me. I was ready to go. I didn't feel like, oh man, I still need to run to the store and do something. I felt like I was good to go. The other thing that I did was I went ahead and paid for my massages. I put a deposit down to Innovative Healing Spa just so that if my surgery date did get moved up, I already had that taken care of, and all I had to do was switch the date. Now, I do want to say that these recovery places and these massage places, they know the drill. They know that dolls get canceled. They know that dolls get moved up. So don't worry about them not having availability. Not saying that it won't ever happen, but just saying that they're pretty flexible when it comes to that. I didn't have anything booked as far as a recovery home. So as soon as I got my date, I called Nesta and I was like, I got my date. Do you guys have a spot for me? And they told me that they only had one spot left. And I'm just like, God, you kept that spot for me. But they only had one spot left, and I took that spot, which is going to be in the high rise. And you guys already know if you follow me on Instagram, but if you don't, I plan on filming the whole entire thing as far as like doing a show and tell of the high rise and just giving you guys like a real experience of what it's like to be like a Jung doll. So anyways, that's things for you to keep in mind as well. Now, I work for myself, so I didn't have to worry about, calling in, but that's also something, you don't want to lose your job over this. Like, you just want to make sure that, your job understands that there is a surgery that you could possibly be happening where you could be given short notice, and if you get short notice, and you will have to give them short notice. If that's something that could fly for your job, then that's awesome. If not, then, it's just something that you have to think through. Now, what I have heard was that some dolls get moved up. So for example, my surgery was in February. There are some dolls who were originally booked for February, but an appointment in July got opened up and they got moved to July. So things like that can happen too. You don't necessarily have to do the last minute cancellation spots. Like, you can also just get your surgery date pushed up. I don't have any details on how something like that happened. I think it's just as simple as communicating with Sarah and being honest with yourself and her about like what you can and can't do. And you can just tell her like, hey, I paid my deposit. I do want to be put on the wait list. I can't do last minute cancellations, but if something comes up in like October of 2021, I'm all for it. I can do it. And she'll make a note of it. Like, don't feel like you have to like blow Sarah's phone up. You don't have to blow her phone up. I don't like when people give people that advice. You don't have to do that. Like, there's a system already put in place. Like I said, I reached out to them in March and I'm already having my surgery and it's in June. Like, I was on the wait list. I did not blow up Sarah's email. I might have emailed her once saying like, hey, anything open up? And she was just like, hey, when something does, I will let you know. She wasn't rude about it. She was just like, no, nothing yet. Like, something has opened up, but there's a line. Like, it's not just you, pretty much, which was great because I didn't think about that. So you're not the only person, that is on the wait list. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, what else can I say about that? All right, so I want to go ahead and end this video just by talking about what my plans are in terms of my stay in Houston. Okay, so let me run through this really quickly. Arriving in Houston on Sunday, me and my husband, we're getting a hotel and a rental car. On Monday morning, my husband is going to drive me to Premier. I'm going to have my surgery at 6:45 a.m. After that, Nesta's transportation is going to take me to Innovative. I'm going to have my massage, and after I have my massage, I'm then going to be going to the Nesta's high-rise suite where I will be staying until the 12th, which is a Saturday. In between that time, I'll be getting my massages from Innovative. Then I'm going to go ahead and transition to an Airbnb from the 12th all the way until the 20th. So that's pretty much the nitty gritty. That's what I'm doing. That's the game plan. We'll see what happens. My husband's going to be coming back and forth from California to Houston as much as he can. Other than that, I just gonna be dependent on my Jung dolls just to kind of get me through. There's one doll that's gonna be in Houston, so she's gonna come and see me and keep me company on the days that she's there. So I'm excited. I've been surrounded by so much support and love, and I just feel so grateful to be able to have this opportunity and to share it with you all. So that is it for this video. If I forget anything, I'm trying to push as much content out as I can before I leave on Sunday. So this was a pretty quick one. I wanted to just give you guys that, and I'm gonna go ahead and record the next video. But if you haven't had a chance to catch up on my last two videos, don't you move a muscle, because another video is coming right up.